Welcome back to Anatomy and Physiology, Chapter 4 Tissues. This is video 10. In this video, we're going to finish talking about the types of connective tissue. So you can see our next category here all have cartilage in the name. So we're not really going to label this one cartilage because it's very obvious. But we have three different types of cartilaginous tissue. And those are hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage, and elastic cartilage. So all of these are going to have fibers, and one of them is very obvious, hopefully, that we have elastic, so we're going to have elastic fiber in that one. But hyaline cartilage is very common in our body. Here we have small, evenly dispersed collagen fibers with cells in little pockets within the tissue. So this is mainly used for structure. It is the most rigid of the three types of cartilage. It's used as a bone scaffold. So as bone is developing, we have hyaline cartilage as a model, and it is anti-friction. So it's actually, the surface of this is very slippery. So like in a knee and any joints that we have bone sliding across bone, we're going to have a layer of hyaline cartilage. And when they say your cartilage wears away, basically it wears away. And then we have bone rubbing on bone, which creates a lot of friction, and it causes arthritis or inflammation of that joint and a lot of pain. So this is found in joints, in growing bone, and the tip of your nose. So we do have some hyaline cartilage there in the nose, and you can see it's a little bit more flexible than your bone, but it still provides some structure. Your nose isn't able to change shape just by pushing it around. Fibrocartilage has large collagen bundles. So we have a little bit more strength here because collagen, as you can see through this, with dense, irregular, we have collagen bundles. They offer some structure, some strength. So if they have larger bundles of cartilage and in collagen in this cartilage, then we have a little bit more structure. So this helps with structure also. And this is found in high pressure areas. So areas that are underneath a lot of stress, or we have a lot of force between substances. So if you've ever heard of the meniscus in the knee, well, it is made out of fibrocartilage. It's a high pressure area. So you have all the weight of your body being forced down onto a disc of fibrocartilage that's in your knee. It is between the vertebrae in the back. So we have discs of fibrocartilage. So if you've heard of somebody that slips a disc, they have actually broke, or the inside of the fibrocartilage disc has broken open, and some of that material could be pressing on the spinal cord and causing a lot of pain. And it is in the pubis. So in the front of your body, you have your pelvic bones coming together right above your genitals, and there's a disc of cartilage that attaches those two bones, and it's fibrocartilage. The last type of cartilage is elastic cartilage, and we have elastic fibers present in here. So there's more elastic fibers than any other. And this is also for structure, but it is the most flexible type of cartilage. So your ears are elastic cartilage, and your epiglottis. The epiglottis is the little flap that is in your throat that when we swallow food or liquid closes over top of the windpipe or trachea to prevent the food or liquid going into your lungs. And we know that it's not always working well. So if you try to take a breath as you swallow something, or somebody makes you laugh when you're eating and then you really violently cough because it went down the wrong pipe, well, that's your epiglottis that failed at that time. The last two types, bone and blood, are pretty self-explanatory. So bone, the ECM, is mineralized, so it's hard. We'll talk about that later on when we talk about bone, but there are two types of bone tissue, compact, and in compact we have more ECM than space. So think of the ECM as all compacted together. And then we have spongy. Spongy is opposite. We have more space than ECM. So it kind of looks like the structure of a sponge. So location, bones. And here we have structure, obviously. This is where we have the protection, support, and movement. Our last one is blood. And the characteristic here is the ECM is liquid, which we called plasma in a previous video. So the cells are floating around in there, but there's a lot more plasma than there are cells. And it transports things. So it transports gases, it transports nutrients, it transports waste. Location, throughout vessels. So those are all the different types of connective tissue.